So team, we come to question 4 today. The equation of a curve is y is equal to x multiplied by inverse tan of 1/2 x, and our first job is to find dy dx. Now, a lot of you had trouble with this. I don't think anyone managed to get full marks on this. Now, the first thing is to realize is that you are using the product rule, okay, for differentiation, because you can see, I hope, that you've got this x, which is also multiplied by this other item here, which is in terms of x as well. So you're going to use the product rule. And in addition to that, we've got this inverse tan business. Now, in your formula sheet, you're given this, that the integral, when you differentiate inverse tan, you get this, right? So, differentiate. Now, the problem is that we don't have it in that form. We actually have it in this form up here. And they don't give you this in the formula sheet, so you're going to have to memorize this, that when you differentiate something with x over a, it's going to end up like this one here. So let me walk you through this, but you must memorize this, okay? This is extremely important. You need to memorize it. Okay, product rule. I'm going to make as x, and therefore dx should be 1, and v is going to be tan inverse x over 2. Now, here's the tricky bit. I've got to differentiate that. Well, I'm going to put this tan here in this form over here. So I'm going to say it's v is equal to 2 times 1 over 2 inverse x over 2. Now, I hope you can see what I've done. It's exactly the same, except I've written it so that I've got this 1 over a here, and I've got it here, and to make up for the fact that I've added that on where it wasn't existing in the first place, I've got this times by 2. Okay, so that's all I've done. Now, if that's the case, dv dx should be equal to this here, with a 2 on top, like this, 2 squared at the bottom. Okay, now this 2 here is represented by this here. So I hope you can see what I've done there. Now, simply from this point, I know that dy dx overall is going to be u dv dx, this is my product rule, plus v du dx. Alright, what's u? X, and I'm going to times that by dv dx. So I'm going to put my x times this, so it'll end up being 2x over x squared, and I can simplify that, 2 squared to 4. So that there. And then I'm going to add v times du dx. Well, du dx is just 1, so I'm just going to have tan inverse x over 2, and that's it. Okay, so that would get me my full marks there. Okay, now for the second part of this equation, this question, we've got a tangent to the curve at x equals 2. It meets the y-axis at a point with these coordinates, and we've got to find what that coordinate is. Well, so in other words, we're trying to find the equation of a line, and then use that equation to figure out a point on the line given an x value. Now, my first move is I'm going to find out what y equals on the curve when x is 2. So I'm going to plug up here my x equals 2 value to pull out a y value. So I'm going to go 2 times inverse tan, and make sure you're set to radians, 2 over 2, which is obviously tan, inverse tan of 1, and I get for this y is equal to pi over 4. And now I'm going to find so here's my two my coordinates, and now I'm going to find m. And to find m, I'm going to, of my line, I plug in my x is 2 value into the differentiated, or the gradient function. So this will be 4 over 2 squared, which is 4 plus 4 is 8, so 4 over 8, plus inverse tan of 2 over 2, which is 1, and that gives me 1/2 and plus pi over 4. Pi over 4. Sorry, I just made a mistake earlier, and I think this should be pi over 2. Let me just check that. 2 times inverse. Yeah, it should be pi over 2. I don't know why I wrote pi over 4. Okay, so this is my gradient here. So I'm going to use y minus y1 equals m into x minus x1, and this will give me the equation of my line. Okay, let's do that. Y minus pi over 2 equals m, so for my gradient I've got 2 parts to it, into x minus 2. Now when we simplify this, I'll have 1/2 x minus 1, so I'm using FOIL on these brackets, plus pi over 4x minus pi over 2, and then I'll bring this fellow over so that'll be plus pi over 2. And you can see that this will nicely simplify. We'll have y equals, and I'll gather my x's, x into 1/2 plus pi over 4 minus 1, and that's my equation of the line. Okay, and now I know that there is a point on the line such that we've got 0 for x and a p value for y. So I'm going to put p for y and 0 for x, and then I should be able to find out very easily what p is. So p equals minus 1, and we're done. As always, if you've got any queries about that, put a comment or talk to me at school and I can walk you through that further. Alright.